Institute, or several times at the Cato Institute. I did work with libertarians. I formed coalitions with some of them, and therefore, sort of like a virus, I become infected by that ideology, I think the theory goes. And, you know, for me, what is really interesting is that there are a lot of issues on which libertarians and liberals actually agree. I mean, Alan Grayson worked with Ron Paul to get the Fed audited. Dennis Kucinich worked with Ron Paul. Ron Wyden works with Rand Paul to curb the NSA and civil liberties abuses. And I think it's really important to build those coalitions and not to try and limit yourself and divide ourselves into these artificial red versus blue cheerleading squads. So I don't really care about what labels get applied to me. I just sort of express the things that I have to say, give the evidence for it, and let people decide what labels are appropriate.
And Glenn, at this point, you find yourself in an extraordinarily powerful position in a lot of important respects. You have a lot of classified information that you have some access to through some people. Are you at all concerned about the notion that a single person or a single group of people are responsible for whether or not Americans are able to learn certain sorts of information?
Meaning you.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, sure, it's a heavy responsibility, and it's one that I take very seriously. But I would say two things about it. Number one is that I think there's nothing unique about it. This is what journalism is about all the time. Newspapers get specific classified information or other sensitive information from their source. Nobody else has it, and internally among editors and reporters who get it, they have to make decisions about what ought to be disclosed and what shouldn't be. You know, that's just what journalism is. There's nothing unique about that other than the fact that we happen to have a huge amount of it. But the second thing about it is I've never made a single decision myself about what will or won't get published. I've worked on purpose within the framework of large media institutions with journalists I respect who have lots of experience, national security experience, doing this kind of reporting, with editors, with lawyers. We consult with a huge number of people, with experts. We listen to what the government has to say. We usually disregard it because it's so unpersuasive and vague and manipulative, but we do give them the opportunity to have input as well. And so there's a huge number of people whose views go into the decision-making process. I'm not the only person with these documents, and the decisions that I make are always the byproduct of lots of collaboration.
All right, Glenn, thank you very much. Come see us if you get through security at JFK. Coming up next, Vice President Biden is busy embarrassing himself on national television.